Hi there, welcome back to the Cordless Vacuum Guide, and continuing my series on auto-empty robot vacuums, we'll be looking at two premium options, the Roborock S7 and the Roomba S9 Plus. Roborock just released its auto-empty dock for the S7, so I think it's the right time to compare these two products. And I've spent many hours testing both robot vacuums to see which variant offers the better value since you'll be paying a lot. There's a lot to unpack, so let's get into it. Both products offer auto-empty systems growing in popularity as more and more brands have integrated this feature into their robot vacuums. iRobot is a pioneer of self-emptying robots with the Roomba i7, and the S9 is a souped-up version of it with more power and a new D-shaped design housing wider extractors that nearly span the entire width of the robot. It's Roomba's best-performing robot vacuum to date and the best-in-class option at vacuuming debris out of all the robot vacuums I've tested. The S7 is Roborock's current flagship option and introduces several new features such as the new bristleless roller and VibraRise, combining a vibrating mopping pad and the Rise feature that lifts the mopping pad when it detects carpet. Unlike the Roomba S9 Plus that offers the auto-empty dock and robot as a package, Roborock currently sells it as an add-on. I've heard rumblings of it being sold as a package, but I haven't heard anything yet directly from Roborock, so it's a wait and see if that comes to fruition. These robots have ramp-style docks where the robot sits, which I've said in previous videos I prefer over vertical ports because it offers better stability, so it's usable on hard floors and carpets. One difference is the port size and where it connects. Roomba has a smaller slot that connects to a dedicated port underneath a dustbin, while Roborock utilizes a wider port that connects to the main brush inlet. I've had my doubts about this setup initially, but after testing extensively on different debris types, I'm sold on the design as it not only picks up stuff inside the bin, but also the filter. The S7's hybrid functionality may have forced Roborock's hand to adapt and utilize the brush roll as an outlet connecting to the auto-empty dock, since its massive mopping module occupies the space behind the brush roll, so there's nowhere to put a dedicated port. Both robots have a bagged auto-empty system, with the Roborock S7 having a larger bag at 3 liters, versus the smaller Roomba S9 bag capacity at around 2.5 liters more or less. Roborock says their bag will last for up to 8 weeks, while Roomba's claim is 30 days. But the actual range will vary depending on how often you'll use these robots and what debris it needs to clean daily. The Roborock base station has a larger horizontal footprint measuring 18 inches deep, 4 inches more than the Roomba at 14 inches. Roomba does have the technology to notify users if the bag is full, whereas Roborock does not, so you'll have to check the bag on occasion if it's at full capacity. Roborock does offer better filtration as it has 2 filters in the first cylinder, while Roomba relies primarily on the bag to keep allergens from seeping through the exhaust vents. I'm guessing Roborock added these filters because it offers the auto-empty dock as a bagless option in some markets, based on what I've seen online, but that's just me speculating. The Roborock S7 and Roomba S9 Plus have top-mounted dustbins. I like the Roomba design better with a wider opening and larger capacity, but volume shouldn't be a deciding factor with the auto-empty system, since the base station empties it for you. Please note that the S7 base station has its own auto-empty dustbin with a similar design to the default container, but it has an opening on one side that acts as a release valve when the dock engages. Another difference is the auto-empty dustbin has no front gate, with only the top door where the filter sits as the opening. These models are considered smart navigating robots as both navigate in predictable straight lines, but each one varies with what sensor it uses. The Roborock S7 relies on a laser sensor or LiDAR, while Roomba relies on a top-mounted camera and floor sensors. I'm a big fan of LiDAR since it's precise and doesn't rely on a light source to function, meaning the S7 will run normally even in pitch black conditions. Roomba's camera sensor relies on light and will not work as well in complete darkness. Both did well in the coverage test, picking up most of the debris scattered in this test area. The S7 completed a 2-pass run much faster than the S9 Plus in around 20 minutes, more than 10 minutes faster than the S9 Plus that finished at around 32 minutes. However, the S9 Plus was more efficient per pass, picking up most of the debris by the end of the first cycle. The S7 was better at navigating through tight quarters, making quicker decisions than the Roomba S9 Plus that had moments of indecisiveness, which is a significant reason why it took longer to finish the coverage test. One disadvantage of the LiDAR sensor is its vertical footprint, with the cover sticking out and will not clear furniture under 3.8 inches. The S9 Plus has a lower profile without a lighter cover, so it clears this sofa that the S7 did not. Both variants have containment boxes that block them from going into off-limit zones you set on the map. But only the Roborock S7 has the invisible wall feature, which are these lines that act as a virtual boundary that block the robot from going past it. Users can draw straight or diagonal lines that add an extra wrinkle of customization for blocking off-limit zones. The Roomba S9 Plus has more airflow with up to 25 CFM at the max setting, nearly doubling the Roborock S7 output at 13.91 CFM. The airflow difference manifests itself in the cleaning tests, where the S9 Plus had higher overall scores and was better across the board, though the Roborock S7 was slightly better in the hard floor tests, which is a testament to the improved agitation from the new brush roll. Surprisingly, it was close in the sand on hard floor test, where the difference is only 0.2%. The S9 Plus picked up 100%, and the eye test shows it picked up nearly everything after the forward pass. The Roborock S7 score was excellent considering the airflow difference, so it's worth considering for cleaning heavier debris like sand or pet litter. However, the Roomba S9 Plus is better on carpet, especially at cleaning embedded sand, where it picked up an average of 93% after 3 tests, versus the 78.85% pickup of the Roborock S7. The high airflow and dirt detect make the S9 Plus superior at cleaning this surface as it made cleaner passes. The S9 Plus also is better at edge cleaning, leaving less debris in this area. Its square front, wide extractors, and high airflow are significant reasons why, while the S7's round frame and lower airflow aren't as conducive at cleaning edges. Another advantage of the S9's wide extractors and high airflow is cleaning hair, as it picked up over 80% on both 5 and 7-inch strands with fewer hair tangles. I did notice most of the strands wrapping on axles, so check this area for any buildup. In contrast, the Roborock S7 was decent with 5-inch strands, but subpar with longer 7-inch hair. Regardless, the good thing about these bristleless brushes is it's easier to clean. Hair easily comes off, and there's no need to use scissors. These cleaning tests reveal that the S9 Plus is the better performing robot, especially on carpet, while the Roborock S7 cleans hard floors nearly as well, but the lack of airflow hinders it somewhat at cleaning embedded dirt. While the S9's high airflow make it superior to most robots at vacuuming debris, this significantly shortens its runtime, despite iRobot putting in a larger capacity battery. It will run for up to 75 minutes in the lowest setting, but that drops to 45 minutes at the max setting. The Roborock S7 will run much longer thanks to its larger capacity battery with a max runtime of 180 minutes. Another downside of Roomba's high airflow is noise, where it maxed out at 74.1 decibels in the highest setting. The S7 isn't as noisy at 69.8 decibels, and it's much quieter in the lower settings, not breaching 65 decibels. Only the Roborock S7 has the mopping feature, an improved version of the S5 Max, now with a vibrating element that improves agitation. I've tested it extensively, and it was excellent at removing all sorts of stains, from red wine, coffee to juice stains. However, I wouldn't recommend using this on large juice stains because it will leave a sticky residue. Roborock further enhances usability with the Rise feature, where the mopping pad lifts when it detects carpet. The carpet sensor also marks down carpeted areas on the map to help users easily mark these regions using no-go zones to avoid them completely in subsequent runs. The S9 Plus doesn't have any mopping feature and is strictly a robot vacuum. You'll have to purchase the Brava Jet to have this functionality, which is an added cost. These robots don't come with any remote, so consumers will have to download their respective apps to unlock all the advanced features. I won't go through all the features, but only highlight the notable differences. The most obvious would be the live map, something I believe Roborock pioneered. This feature shows users in real time where the robot is on the map. Roborock's refresh interface also provides easy access to its core features like power and mop settings, and various map options. Roomba doesn't have a live map, but only displays this graphic during the cleaning cycle. Users can access the maps by tapping on this pin below the robot graphic. At each map level, users can set partitions, use custom names for each partition, and add containment zones to block off-limit areas. But as I've said, only the Roborock app has the invisible wall feature that adds a dimension of using diagonal, no entry lines. These apps have selective room cleaning and zone cleaning, but only the iRobot app can save and name these zones for quick access. whereas the Roborock app cannot, so you'll have to draw these boxes again and again. Lastly, both apps offer a scheduling feature, so these robots will clean on their own at your preferred time. Users can schedule multiple runs per day, which plays into the strengths of the self-emptying feature. However, the iRobot app has a minimum gap of 3 hours between runs, and Roborock does not. One reason could be the shorter runtime to give enough time for the robot to recharge before the next run. To conclude this comparison, while the Roomba S9 Plus is the superior option between the two at cleaning debris, the Roborock S7 offers better versatility with its ability to mop floors and better app features. It does both tasks very well and is probably the best option among robot vacuum and mop hybrids. If your priority is cleaning debris and don't need the mopping feature, I'd lean towards the Roomba S9 Plus. But if you value versatility and navigating efficiency, then the Roborock S7 offers better value for what you'll spend. Let me know what you think about these robots in the comments section below. If this video has been helpful to you, consider giving it a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified for future comparisons like this. Links are in the description for more information. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.